Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. As always, if you'd like to see another episode tomorrow, hit that like button. 2,000 of those and we will have another one. And look at this, it's going to look crazy when it's done, right? Thing is, I really wish I had planned this a little bit more before I went into it. At one point I had an idea of exactly what we were going to do, and then I kind of forgot that, and now I'm feeling like the way we set up the roads here probably wasn't the smartest of things to do. But slowly we're getting there, and when I say slowly, I do mean slowly. I really wish there were some more tools for building roads in this game. You know, perhaps like a roundabout tool where you could click in the middle, drag out to the side, and then it would create a circle for you. That would be ever so useful. But building roads can be a little bit tedious, especially when there's a lot of trial and error, and you're trying to get the roads, built symmetrically so you can rebuild them in other places like this over here. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the city, then I'll show you what I've done down here. This, what we built over here, has created an immense amount of traffic. If we just go for the top-down view here, you can see it's backed up around the roundabout. It's backed up all the way down here. We've now got a ridiculous amount of traffic flowing out of this area, and I've got a feeling it's a bit of a backlog effect. So where we have a little more congestion here, it goes all the way back round and into our industrial area. So obviously, we need to fix these problems, and that means building a lot of roads. So I've redone this area down here. In fact, let's click play so you can see some of that traffic in action. Look at that, it's all backed up. It looks horrible, doesn't it? It's going to take a long time to solve all of this. The city is running though, which is good. We're still generating our money, and there doesn't appear to be any major problems in the city, like with garbage or the crematoriums, so all is good. I always get a notification about that. Down here, it really doesn't like, I think it's this intersection right here, because it's so small, it sees it as a really big problem. So at some point what I'm going to do is come back here, I think, and I'm probably going to put a road across there. We could do that like right now, but I won't. We could put a road across there, so in order to get to these offices, you've got to go that way. And that makes a lot of sense, because the offices don't attract a lot of traffic, so that would reduce that little bit right there. Yes, it would. Enough about that. Let's come over here. So I had to rebuild this roundabout. Not too much to say about it. You can see what's going on here. We're connecting to Avalon on this side. This one goes into the main area. This one goes out to the edge, and now we've got something pointing into the edge of our circle area. Then the garbage trucks can use this road to get on and off of this ramp here. I don't think they've got any reason to leave the city or come from it, but if they do, they'll have to go all the way around the roundabout to get back up, and it's not that far away, which is cool. So yeah, this area right here, what are we going to do with it? How are we going to make this work? Well, I'm thinking that this connection right here is actually quite bad, because it's very centralized, and that might look like a good place to connect it up. But if we want our traffic to flow well, we need to pull it from places where there isn't a lot of traffic already. So lots of this city is going to pull traffic into this area. The same way the industrial area will pull traffic into this roundabout. It wouldn't be wise to build a new area and connect it directly into that one. So what we might have is a one-way road off of here to kind of alleviate some traffic from this area and bring it in. Or actually maybe an exit road would be better. I'm really not sure about that, but maybe a one-way road there. But we're going to make our main junctions on either side. And if you look at the world as well, that kind of makes sense. There's room to expand here. This has got a place to go to as well, so it kind of connects those two areas. And on this side, we're going to connect it around to this roundabout and maybe move this one, have the road come across here. And with that connection, you can then go into that area, or probably we'll send it off around this one as well. So we kind of want to divert and distribute the traffic into different areas rather than send it into the heart of our city, which is what this will be, because we're expanding in this area. So in order to get, from over there to there, or from here to there, you'll probably end up going through this one roundabout. And we definitely want to avoid that. And I've got to say, all this traffic management is crazy, crazy stuff. So anyway, this roundabout right here, oh, it's good to see that people are using it. That's very nice. And now we've got massive congestion in the city. We need to figure out the layout of these roads a little better, I think. But anyway, my idea here was to simply put the roundabout underneath the roads. We can adjust them slightly so that their supports don't go into the road. But if we have a look here, you can see that there it did. And look, the cars are able to whiz right through it. Let's actually slow that down a touch. It looks really silly, I know. And I don't know how that happened, but after I built the roundabout and put these ramps in, they appeared on the roads. So fair enough. I mean, the traffic's going to go through it anyway, so it's fine. But this way you'll be able to jump up onto one of either of the roads up top and then go around in a semicircle to either area. So I'm thinking that this little shortcut right here might be a little bit counterproductive if you want to exit at another ramp. So maybe what we do is we have a roundabout here and we have our exit ramp there, so you can get from the inside area to the motorway, then round here and out of the city. And oh, it's just a nightmare. It's really difficult to describe. I've got to be honest here. You've got to think about so many little things about how it diverts traffic in different directions and where it means your traffic's going to be moving to and from. And it's really hard to express. It's also hard to understand it. I'm looking at this thing constantly and it feels like a little bit of a nightmare. But I think once we get our roundabouts done on the outside, then we look at the inside of the city. There's going to be a lot of adjustments here. You can see these crossroads are very bad. We've got loads of cars backing up in a single file line, so what we might want to do is remove some other crossroads or make a one-way system somewhere. There's a lot that's going to go into this, and this is why I feel kind of bad that I just jumped into it and built it last episode, because it needed a lot more preparation, I think, and it generates a lot of traffic as well because it's commercial. Our commercial, demand is high. But anyway, my plan is to fill the entire area inside here with commercial. Then on the outsides we'll build some more patchy, less symmetrical, I guess you could say, areas that will have residential as well. So if we go and look down here, I'm going to stop waffling on now, and we look at our objectives for these two things. I mean, that's a case of just building the 7 universities. Once you've unlocked it, you delete that, and then over here we need a lot more zones for commercial. So we're going to achieve that by doing all of this, but that alone might not be enough, so we'll see about that one. So this episode is going to be about traffic management. And that's probably not the most exciting thing to all of you, but the deal is, it's a little bit late here, and I've spent a lot of time doing these roads, and now we're probably going to do a fair bit of talking about the traffic. Now I'm hoping the decisions that I make in this episode are going to make sense. I'm going to follow my gut a little bit here, and usually what I like to do is actually do some tests and give it a lot more thought. But anyway, now that this is in place, we can see some of the problems with the system that we've created, and that is that we have a flow of traffic that goes into our roundabout, and then it goes up onto this thing to get back into the city, because we've made it so this is an entrance in, and that is an entrance in, and these are exits. So we kind of direct the traffic in and out like that. However, the way that we've designated them to go from this roundabout here and into the city, to go around to the outside, you can see the two traffic points converge. So I think actually it doesn't really matter where this is. My thinking was if this was... Alright, I'm confusing myself a little bit here with my own explanation. My thought was that if this was the inbound road, we'd be pulling in a lot of traffic going straight through into the city. But that's what we're going to do anyway, because it has to come in here to get in. So it makes more sense to actually make that the inbound road, and then that way the outbound road will bring traffic around and out like this, which should actually work better because it's going to be going on the outside lane and straight down here. And by the way, we're probably going to have to modify these roundabouts a little bit. As you can see, the turns here are pretty sharp, and that slows down traffic, as you can see right there. So lots of mini modifications and micromanagement will be going on. So if we swap these around, what I'm then thinking is that with an outbound road like this, we're going to modify the amount of crossroads in front of it. And at the moment, I'm not too sure how it is I'm going to pull that off. This is where I need to step back and think rather than waffle on camera. So what we'll do first of all is we'll swap the direction of these roads around, and we're not going to do that using the tool. By the way, you can now right click to change the direction. We actually want to remove this and make sure it points in the other direction, so when they turn off with a little bit of speed, because if they make a sharp turn like that, the cars are going to have to slow down. So let's swap those things around and see how it affects the traffic. Okay, so straight away we see the problem that we need to solve. There's not enough buffer on this road. There's not enough space for cars to back up and flow into the city. So that means we're going to have to remove the connection of this road right here. And I'm thinking what we'll probably do is downgrade this road and maybe make this one the bigger one. However, we kind of want them to go quite far into the city because they can back up more. So maybe all of these junctions here aren't the best thing as well. Maybe it would be wise to cut off the ends of these roads so that these ones can go straight through, which I think is the way we're probably going to do it. And then that way you'll go over to the middle here to go to each of these connections, and then there'll be a straight line of traffic leading out of the city as well. So I've said it before and I'll say it again, I really wish I'd have put more time and planning into this because these roads are a little bit of a nightmare. So now what we have is our outbound traffic going into the same roundabout as the inbound traffic, and they're crossing over or crossing each other on this bit of road right here, which just creates some serious traffic, and that's no good at all And that's a really big flaw. What I think we might do is add a slip road that goes underneath and out like this. In fact, there's kind of room for that because this road is higher, which may actually turn out to be a pretty good thing. And look at that, it won't let us build that road because that support beam is in the road, even though it's already there. So if we put one right here and we go out like this, that looks promising. At least we can get the road out to there, and then we should nice and easily be able to snap it down onto this road somewhere. There we go. And it shouldn't be long before they start using that. I might make that curve a little smoother, but hopefully they'll see that this is going to be better for them. In fact, why don't we just snap to that? Can we put in a sneaky road across there quickly? I don't think so. I'm going to have to adjust this, that's for sure. So these changes have made a significant difference. I'm very happy. We're starting to get down the foundations for some better traffic in this area. So one thing I've done here, by the way, and if we have a look, there are traffic lights, but I don't think they're ever going to change because, well, that's not good. That's actually pointing in that direction. That's supposed to go in the opposite direction. I thought I made that correct. Apparently not. Let's change the direction. So yeah, one-way roads that lead around to the back. So this means that you don't have to go. What went wrong there? Did I just change it back again? I did. Okay. This might get a little bit complicated. So that one's going the right direction. That one's not. Looks like we just missed the one tile. Okay, so you can turn out left or right there. At the moment, there's no traffic using it, probably because it's not going to be shorter. But the idea is you can go around to this bit and then go down into these streets to access all of these buildings because they're no longer connected here, which is really important. It means we've got that nice stream of traffic just leading into the middle. And now this middle area doesn't look so congested. We should probably look or use the traffic tool. You can see over on this side it's a little bit bad. So where we have this road going straight in to the center, maybe it would be good for these ones to go straight out. So the only way to get to these buildings is through this side road right here, which might make them a fair bit congested. I'm not sure how that's going to play out really, but it looks like we're on the right path now. So with traffic like these areas looking a little bit better and the layout starting to make sense, if we go and look at the rest of the city, it's like we've injected everything with traffic. So now it's all getting backed up, and what we need to do is add a few shortcuts here and there, modify things. One of the biggest problems with traffic is small roundabouts like this. I should have made it a little bit bigger because these connections are very bad. The traffic slows down and that has some big consequences. So maybe a little road from there to there. Oh, go on. That might help. A little shortcut to stop them going onto the roundabout. Obviously some overroads and stuff would really help here. This roundabout basically needs an entire redesign, which is something we'll save for the live stream. So that traffic backs up all the way to over here because there's just so much of it, and it is flowing just a little bit too slow for my liking. I've got a feeling there's probably a lot of this traffic that wants to go from here to over there, so I wonder if we can add a shortcut road. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to do here will be temporary as well. We will make it look nice in the future and all of that stuff. So then we want to go across this area. This is always tricky. Oh, except sometimes it snaps nice and easy like that. There we go. Okay, and we're going for that road right there, so we might as well just go for the main connection. Let's pull it over a little bit. Let's turn off the snap tool. There we go. That'll give it a nice kind of gradient to work with, and it connects right there. So what we should see is a whole bunch of traffic start going across pretty soon. We can see someone coming down the outside lane. Actually, you want to converge into the middle one, don't you? There we go. There's our first car using it, and I'm sure we'll see a steady stream of traffic from now on. There we go. They're starting to come through. So basically, when the new cars like appear, or ones further down the line calculate their journey, they'll start seeing this, and more cars will start using it. So that should alleviate traffic here. That should stop some backups. So we go and look at this bit. It's actually doing all right apart from this bit right here, isn't it? And this thing is a really nicely designed roundabout, so there's actually no modifications we can really do with the roads here that will benefit us too much. So over here, if we have a look at the traffic in the industrial area, it's really good. I'm so proud of this because look at just how much stuff is whizzing around, yet none of it's backed up. It's just about accommodating for all the traffic that it naturally generates. And last time I looked at this area, there were some backup issues. There it is. Look at that road right there. I think that's a sign that traffic from this area connecting with this roundabout would be a good idea, which is why I made this one so big. At the moment it's got 3 junctions. I imagine we might have a 4th go up in that direction, but what we'll do is rebuild this one and this roundabout here, and we'll send it over in this direction so it can connect up with all of this, and then that should be another nice place to distribute the traffic through. Yeah, so it's interesting stuff really. I do a lot of this on the live stream. Look at that. That speaks volumes about how much that's needed, doesn't it? And if we think about where they're going straight over, so they're having to merge into one lane, which just causes a big backup here and a big backup there as well. And actually, we may have made the whole problem worse. It looks like we just shifted the traffic somewhere else. And this is a big problem with this design that we did right here, is that most of the time the traffic that's coming in just wants to go straight over, and I'm not seeing like an easy way to pull that off without removing the roundabout. And we see we have so much like space here for all of the traffic to go down. We've got 6 lanes, we've got 3 right here, and yet they all choose to use 1, and that is a huge problem. That's the problem. That's the real problem right there. They're using 1 lane of traffic, and that's not what we need at all. We need them to use all 3, and I really don't know how to manipulate that at this point. I might play around with some of the road upgrades and stuff. Let's just... Oh, that was a really bad decision. I changed the direction of the road and made some of the cars disappear. So what if we were to do that right at the merge point? Would that help at all? All lanes say forward, yet they're not using all of the lanes. Typical. What if we did that as well? Would that help? No, they're all still trying to use 1 lane. Brilliant, okay. What if we did that? They all still want to use 1 lane. Oh, but now it does it in sections because we've got traffic lights. It's difficult stuff to manage. I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually. Okay, this may just be what we're looking for. They're now merging into 2 lanes of traffic. But then further down the line, they decide to merge into 1, right where we can't see. That's terrible. Why do they have to do that? They can both make a right-hand turn there. And they both go into this lane. That is really annoying. Okay, I've now adapted this road over here. And do you remember how we had these one-way roads on this side that go out to this bit? So that's a good connection into this area. There's also a one-way road out there. So traffic in this area, I imagine as we have more in the back areas here with some buildings, they've got a quick exit out to this bit right here, which could cause a little bit congestion on the way out, as many of the cars might be turning into the same place. But anyway, now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, when I look at the traffic right here, is the roundabout necessary? Because it feels like everything that's coming here is coming because they're exiting the city, and that's the way, and when I say city I mean the commercial hub, because that's the way that we've designed this thing. We've pushed out the traffic onto these areas over here, and when they're coming around on those roads, the only place they're going to be going is out of the city. Like, we never see a car using this side of the ring road to get in, which might be a problem later on if we were to add some, you know, extra junctions here and there, but it feels like that's the way that we've designed it, and that maybe what we don't need is this roundabout. What we actually need is this road going straight in, like just straight into the city, and then this road here and that one there sort of converging like they literally do right here, and then becoming an outbound road. That kind of feels like what it is, and if that's true, I think it means we're going to be using this section from here down to there on that side of the road. Then this section will never have traffic, and then it will be the same deal again going from there to there, as you can see. So then on the opposite side, the outside road is going to send traffic from there. At the moment only a little bit going north, although I don't know if that's north, but north on our screen, and then we'll have none going from that one to that bit, and then you'll see we'll have cars coming down here, which is really interesting because it means we could sort of replace it with just one singular ring road, but we'll probably keep it like that for looks, even though it's not getting used. And I'll think about it and see, is there any, you know, reason for a car to go from here around this ring road? Probably not. And there you go. So hopefully that made sense, but I have really run out of time. I've spent a lot of time looking at this, making roads, as you can see. Sometimes you have a little bit less time to play, and you have to make a lot more decisions and put a lot more thought into it than usual. So I know we didn't get too much done today, but we did in terms of planning and understanding the traffic of this area. So I'm hoping to do a live stream. Actually no, I'll have no time to live stream before next episode now that I think about it, but we've got work to do and we'll get a lot of it done in the live streams. And it looks like we've got a little bit of traffic down here. These roads are yet to be modified yet. They'll have the crossroads there taken away from them. Alright, I think I've waffled on enough for this episode. As I've clearly pointed out, we've had some problems with this, but we're starting to solve all of the traffic problems and understand what's going on here, and I'm confident that we'll be able to get this to work. So that's going to be it for this episode. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like. It will be greatly appreciated, and as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.